Being married to a human can be confusing. You have to consider the other person's feelings and needs, and their quirks inevitably interfere with your daily reality. But the future is offering up an alternative as human-robot marriages quickly become a reality. Number 5. AI engineer marries robot. A Chinese artificial intelligence engineer broke all social conventions and married a robot he built himself, giving up on the search for love. Jing Jia, 31 years old, decided to commit after failing to find a human spouse. Zhang had also become tired of the constant nagging from his family and the pressure to get married, so he turned to a robot he built and named Ying. After 2 months of dating, he donned a black suit to marry her at a ceremony attended by his mother and friends at the weekend in the eastern city of Hangzhou. While not officially recognized by the authorities, the union had all the trappings of a typical Chinese wedding, with Ying's head covered in a red cloth in accordance with local tradition. China has a huge gender gap in its population size, mainly due to sex-selective abortions after the introduction of the country's widely criticized one-child policy, which for decades controlled how many children each family could have. There are 113.5 men for every 100 women in China. The gender imbalance, coupled with changing attitudes towards marriage among the country's middle class, means many men will never find wives. For now, Ying can only read some Chinese characters and images and speak a few simple words, but Zhang plans to upgrade his bride to be able to walk and do household chores. Until then, he has to carry the 30-kilogram robot to move her. Stories of robots replacing humans are commonplace in China, most notably in a smattering of restaurants where waiters are automated. However, the machines rarely live up to expectations. Let's see if Zhang remains satisfied with his choice. Number 4. Falling in love with a robot. Jeff Gallagher opened up about how he fell in love with a robot. Originally from Queensland, Australia, Gallagher was looking for love and thought he'd never meet anyone he could connect with. Since his mum passed away over a decade ago, it was just him and his dog Penny. Then one day, while reading an article about AI robots, something clicked and he decided to give it a whirl. He picked a robot named Emma, costing almost $4,000. After waiting 6 weeks for Emma to be put together in China and then shipped over to Australia, in September 2019 she arrived. Recalling the moment he met her for the first time, Jeff said, "When I opened the box, I gasped. Emma was beautiful." 2 years on, Jeff says the two have grown much closer, and now he wouldn't change anything about their relationship. And even though some people might not understand it, he doesn't care. Number 3. Robot wife and mistress. Dave Cat, the online pseudonym he lives by, has shunned what he calls organic woman in favor of plastic females, as they will never cheat on him or end their relationship. He married one doll he has called Sidore Kuroneko and keeps a second, Elena Vostrakova, to keep her company while he is out at work. They all live together in his apartment in Michigan. Dave Cat, 40 years old, says that he and his girlfriends never row. They never stand him up, and he finds them more easygoing than a human being. The IT worker is part of a group of people called idolaters or technosexuals who say they are attracted to robots and can have fulfilling, meaningful relationships with them. Dave Cat and his brides have matching wedding bands that say synthetic love lasts forever, and he lavishes them with attention just like a regular husband and wife. Dave Cat has also created backstories for both his women. He tells himself that he met Sidore in a goth club in 2000, and Elena saw him in a TV documentary and moved from Russia to be with him. The reality is that he bought them both for $6,000 each from Abyss Creations, one of the world's leading manufacturers of real dolls. All three now live together in his modest one-bedroom apartment in Michigan. In fact, things have gone so well that Sidore and Elena are now girlfriends. Dave Cat said, but they are also bisexual, so still want to pleasure him when he gets home. Dave Cat, who calls himself a doll husband, admitted that even though he bought the dolls 70% for sex, the other 30% was about companionship. His experience of real-life relationships was the reason he now prefers the dolls, which are made of platinum soft silicone, stand about 5 foot 1 inches tall, and weigh 78 pounds. Unfortunately, Dave Cat's dolls cannot do everything that a real-life person can do. He cannot take the dolls with him when he goes out, for example, as he knows that others might raise more than a few eyebrows. 2. Marrying a hologram. Akihiko Kondo graduated from a vocational school and later worked as a clerk at public elementary and junior high schools. But 4 years after he began his job, he was bullied. When he talked to two female colleagues, they would call him gross and would not have anything to do with him. The treatment left him depressed, and he even became unable to eat. A doctor diagnosed him as having an adjustment disorder, and he was forced to take time off work. A change came after he discovered Hatsune Miku. He was captivated by the Vocaloid character's clear singing voice. "I stayed in my room for 24 hours a day and watched videos of Miku the whole time," he recalled. He listened to Miku's songs like lullabies and was able to sleep well. With this mental support, it became possible for him to go out again and he was able to return to work. To sum it up, Kondo took a leave of absence, became absorbed in Miku, and emerged from social withdrawal. At first, he used a service developed by a startup in Tokyo that projected a three-dimensional hologram of Hatsune Miku into a cylinder, and it was possible to hold simple conversations with her via artificial intelligence. It was reported that when Kondo proposed to her, she replied, "I hope you'll cherish me." Kondo tied the knot with the hologram Hatsune Miku back in 2018. The ceremony cost 2 million yen, or about $17,300, though none of the 40 invitees actually showed up. What has changed for Kondo since his wedding ceremony is that he can no longer enjoy conversations with the character, as the company that developed the service terminated it in March 2020, saying the limited production model had run its course. But Kondo maintains, "My love for Miku hasn't changed. I held the wedding ceremony because I thought I could be with her forever." Number 1. Bodybuilder marries robot. A bodybuilder has married his intimacy doll after delaying the ceremony for months. Yuri Toloshiko from Kazakhstan lived with Margot for a year and a half and says he popped the question back in December 2019. He first met her at a nightclub, and the pair were due to get married before the coronavirus pandemic threw the world into turmoil. Yuri earlier said that the ceremony was delayed a second time after he was attacked during a transgender rally in the Kazakh city of Almaty on October 31. He suffered a concussion and a broken nose after dressing as a woman for the march, posting pictures of his gruesome injuries. Yuri had attended the rally dressed as Amanda and shared a video of his courageous protest and the assault that unfolded. The bodybuilder identifies as a pansexual and can fall in love with a character, an image, a soul, or just a person. Luckily, Yuri made a full recovery and wed the love of his life just a few weeks later. The pair finally tied the knot at a ceremony attended by dozens of guests. Sharing footage of the celebration, Yuri wrote, "It happened. To be continued." In the video, Yuri slips a ring onto Margot's finger before the pair share a kiss. They then take the first dance in front of a delighted crowd. Surprisingly, his union with Margot should stand. The only requirements for a wedding to take place in Kazakhstan are that both consenting parties have to be male and female and over 18 years old. Yuri previously said he is searching for properties in the Kazakh cities of Almaty or Nur-Sultan for the pair to live in. Recently, however, Yuri revealed Margot as tragically broken, potentially scuppering romantic plans for their first Christmas as a married couple. He now faces a tense wait to see if she's repaired in time for the festive period, with all of her bits in good working order once more. Yuri said her safe return would be a gift for both of them. That's all for today's video. We'll see you next time.